we need to talk. So, myself, Paul's Monitors, and this guy.
What's good with you guys, man?
Yeah, him. We've decided to blow this reptile community, content-wise, out of the water. So what me and Will have got planned is an interactive news show.
Honestly, this is going to be like something you would sit down and watch on TV.
We're going to have a whole manner of different segments on different episodes just for you guys. And the best bit about it is we don't even know what's going to happen.
We're going to be bringing you guys the most recent reptile news from around the globe. We're going to have enclosure reviews.
We're going to have Instagram reviews.
We're going to be talking to guests about different species, having different species spotlights.
We're going to be doing Q&As.
We're going to have some trivia for you guys to play.
We're going to be doing lives on YouTube for you guys to interact. We're going to be interacting with everyone, big and small.
We're even going to be reviewing some reptile products. If it has to do with reptiles, you know we're going to recap it on here.
If you've got any questions, any news, any topics, any issues you want myself or Will to address, send them in.
Of course, as time goes on, we're going to update you guys further on what's going on.
But for now, I'll leave you with this little teaser.
We absolutely could not be more excited to bring you this. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Reptile Recap.
You're not going to want to miss it. What's good, everybody? Me and Will are so excited for this. We have been planning this for months. We're basically gonna bring you all the reptile news, and we're gonna basically get people on and be a live interactive podcast, but that will be in another video. This video is purely just get to know us, because people will come from Will's channel, people will be coming from my channel, and hopefully a lot of you are going to be new. We've asked some questions on our Instas from our fans to ask us, so we're just going to go through those questions. Me and Will like to digress a lot, so I'm sure we'll ramble on about a load of random stuff. So yeah, we'll just start off really simple. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Mr. Will Exotic.
What's good, everybody? My name is Will. You can find me at Will Exotic on YouTube and at Mr. Will Exotic on Instagram.
And I'm the other half to this dynamic. I'm Paul's Monitors, keeper out of the UK, just Paul's Monitors on all socials. I'm only on Instagram and YouTube. But what we're going to do now is just basically, I think we've got about 10 questions between us. So we'll just go through all the questions. Either be quick answers, long answers. We'll find out, because we haven't really seen them all yet. I've just screenshot them, and we're going to sort of take it as first come. I'll start with a question, and then we can bounce back to you. This is from Riddler's Reptiles. He's asked me to @ him. So thanks, Riddler, for reaching out. But basically, what got you into monitor lizards, Mr. Will Exotic?
I don't know. I think we might have already talked about this. It was basically like I was that dinosaur kid, right? So I loved every single type of dinosaur. And I remember my parents had gotten me a book about like birds and dinosaurs, like the science between them. And funnily enough, I opened one page in the book and I saw a big Varanus gouldi on there tripoding. It was a drawing of one. And I saw that thing. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And it said Gould's monitor on it. And so naturally I Googled it, and I was like, and then that's when it all went downhill from there.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of diving into philosophy in my podcast, and the more I talk to reptile keepers, the more I realize, same as like what shapes us from children to adults, there seems to be these standout moments, and the species that stand out tend to be where you are in your order. Like I talked to a couple of people, and they saw like an Australian water dragon, and they'd be like, this is and now they're into agamids, or they see like a mangrove snake, and now they're into like colubrids. Whereas I remember seeing a savanna monitor and freckled monitors very young. So some Tristis orientalis in pet shops when I was 7, 8, 9, because I was into all reptiles anyway. But I remember seeing these. I didn't know what they were, but I remember seeing them, and I remember it vividly. One day I will own these. And I think just for me, it was because everyone's like, oh, it's not the intelligence that got me into monitors.
No, it's the size, dude. It's the size.
100%.
They're a dinosaur. Big giant lizards. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what it is. If you say anything other than that, you're not telling the truth. Like, let's be honest here.
Well, I didn't know that they were smart when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But, I was just like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's a velociraptor. Like,
but then as time goes on, we start to see the smaller species, right? The tree monitors, the dwarf monitors, that were like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think every kid that likes reptiles, even every kid sees a Komodo dragon and is like,
wow.
It's like,
wow.
Yeah. There you go. So that's what's got us into monitors. Quick fire.
I have a funny story after. To share. When I was in 5th grade, we were going to the DC Zoo, right? And so we were in these groups. And so my teacher, like when I was younger, I didn't really talk about, well, I talked about animals all the time, but when I got into like middle school, but when I was in 5th grade, my teacher knew. So we were going to the DC Zoo. She put us all in groups in our class, like 5 groups, and she made me the leader of the group. And she's like, "All right, guys, everyone has to pick an animal to do a project on, right?" And what do you think I picked?
Komodo.
Komodo, but not just a Komodo dragon. We had to make them out of clay. I did an albino Komodo dragon.
Damn, bro.
And then we did a whole shoebox thing to look like the Komodo Island. And like my dad, shout out to my dad, he was a chaperone on that field trip. And so I got a picture next to the statue like this. And then I just, yeah, I had to drag them all along for the Komodo dragon. No one else wanted to do it. They want to do like pandas or something. I was like, no, we're doing a Komodo dragon.
Yeah, man. Komodos are sick. I saw some at the zoo 2 or 3 days ago. Just sat in awe, man. Just watching it.
Yeah.
It was doing nothing. It was just sat there. But like it had such nice burgundies on its back, and I was like, oh my god.
They're so much bigger in real life.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're huge.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Like there's all this debate about like, oh, croc monitors. Nah, dude.
Nah,
you got to give the Komodo some respect. They're massive.
Huge. They're huge. Like I fed one last year.
Really?
And like I was generally like this close to it. Like I actually touched it. So I've touched a Komodo.
Wow.
That's how close it was. Obviously behind a cage, like a corrugated cage, and I put my fingers in and stroked its leg and stuff. But they literally feel like sandpaper. Like they're so. Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting, but they're like imagine an Aki's tail. That's how the Komodo's leg felt. It was wow. It was surreal. Like it was claws, like literally like. And this wasn't even a massive male. It was probably, I don't know, 7 foot. So still a big lizard. Yeah, but for a Komodo, it's still a small male. It's only 3 or 4 years old. It was only small.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it was like
they're so thick too. They're beefy. They're so beefy. Yeah.
Especially males with the breastplates, like when they're like fighting, and then they've got like the pecs, and you're like, damn.
Like the Argus monitor, dude. The Argus monitor pecs are something else.
I was like, I don't want no smoke. No smoke.
No way.
But yeah, they're sick. So hit me with your question.
I didn't ask if I wanted to be added or not. So I guess I'll just keep them. No, I know my guy Justin wants to be added. My guy Justin. I know he does. He's like, oh, shout me out all the time. Shout out Justin, man.
Shout out Justin.
Any other hobbies other than keeping reptiles? You can go first.
I've had 1,000,001 hobbies. I'll just rattle off a few quickly. I used to do archery. Used to be into hunting, fishing. I used to do airsoft, which is like, I don't know if you have airsoft. You probably do actually.
Yeah, no, I used to have a gun. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. I did airsoft, bike trials. So like BMXing, but on a trials bike, boxing. I boxed for a long time. Just reptiles now.
Yeah, true. For me, dude, I'm the same way. I'm finding more people that are like ex-fitness or athletes that like have transitioned. I don't know. I think that's cool because that's like the kind of background we both come from. But now it's basically just reptiles and weightlifting. Like that's basically it now. I used to be the biggest basketball head ever. Like that was my life. I want like just basketball, everything. Cooking. I love to cook. I fish occasionally. I love like micro fishing. I love seeing all the beautiful small species of fish, herping, being outside. Like
that's similar to me. And that sort of brings us on to the next question. So what do you do for work that supports your mangrove feeding, or in your case, Argus monitor feeding?
Currently right now, so it's been about a month and a half. Just got my real estate license.
Oh, cool.
There's been a couple of hiccups. I'll just say that. I'm not going to go into it on here. The stuff I have planned, man, I'm going to need some funds to be able to accomplish it. Let's just say that. But I'm not worried. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just... not the same, but same in money. I'm an electrician. I've been doing it since 15 and I'm 28. So I've been doing it 13 years. I've hated it every single day.
Really?
Yeah, I don't enjoy it, but it allows me to pay for nice lizards. My advice is do what you love, not what makes you rich. But here we are doing stuff that makes us rich.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like means to an end, but hopefully the end goal is to be able to do what we love full time. And
100%.
You know what I mean? With that being said, make sure you guys subscribe. You know what I mean? Like the video. So we can quit our jobs. Listen, maybe they'll take that as like a valid, like if all you guys do is just subscribe, like the video, watch it, then we'll be able to bring you guys endless content. You know what I mean? And I won't have to be an electrician anymore. Nope, it'll be a win-win. He can take frequent trips to the US. I can take frequent trips to the UK. We can do them live there podcasts. You go. Live podcasts with Mango. Done. Yep. And with Blue.
There we go.
Oh Lord, that would never happen. We don't promote monitor fighting
No.
at all.
I think blue would win purely just because
Probably.
size, not because of attitude. Mangoes are like little pit bull terrier.
Yeah. All right. Let me see my next one.
What you got for me?
This one comes from my boy Ravishing Reptiles. Shout out to him. Go subscribe to his channel. This one, I thought about this beforehand, kind of. 3 of your favorite non-monitor reptiles. You can only give 3.
First thing that hits me off the top of my head says I don't. Have we got to say individual species or groups?
What do you think we should do? Because we got to stick to it. I think we should say species.
Okay. That's not a monitor lizard. Saltwater crocodiles, sea turtles. This is all just off the top of my head, and it will change tomorrow. And king cobras.
You want to know what mine are?
If they're the same, then I'm gonna end this right now.
It's you're gonna be shocked at how similar. American crocodile,
Okay.
fly river turtle,
Damn. Yeah.
and probably a Bolin's python.
Yeah. So similar.
Very similar.
Yeah. I'm sure if I actually thought on it, if you gave me like a day to really pick, that was just off the top of my head. That was a good question.
Yeah. Honorable mentions, definitely Indian gharials.
Yeah, they're cool.
Orinoco crocodiles, Gila monsters.
I was gonna say Gila monsters. I was gonna say crocodilians. Because they're like my favorite at the minute. I've been really looking at some like Strophoros geckos, and I think they're arguably one of the coolest looking lizards on the planet. I can't change my answers. I've locked in the 3, but like I'm getting Strophoros one day because they're so cool.
Yeah. Now that you say that, then I can't. I gotta show love to the anoles too, like the blue beauties. Gotta show love to the. Oh my gosh! Hold on, I gotta see.
But we're only allowed to pick 3, and now I'm thinking about Tokay geckos.
You're right.
How can you like not love a Tokay gecko? The thing's a Pokemon.
I love the Tokays so much.
So I've got what got you into reptiles from Freezy's reptiles, but we sort of touched on that. So sorry, Freezy asked as well what we do for work. So, okay, this is a bit deep. So, have you ever wanted to stop keeping reptiles? And if yes, what did you do about it? That's a good question.
It is a good question. Actually hits very close to home. Yeah, I kept reptiles from when I was about probably 6 with your anoles and geckos all the way to probably I would think I was in 8th grade when I only had 1 leopard gecko. And then I stopped because like I don't know, I thought it wasn't cool. Basically, I was embarrassed. That's the main reason. I own it now, but I was embarrassed, dude. I thought it was weird. I thought people thought it was weird. I just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chase after this basketball dream full force. And then my knee and all that. This is for later, but yeah, I just thought it was weird. And then probably it was a year when I was going from 11th to 12th grade, so it was like COVID. I decided I had just gotten my first job at a grocery store, so I was like, hey, let me order a subadult Argentine Tegu, and I'm gonna not tell the rest of the story because that'll be for another episode.
There you go. So, yeah, I can relate. Basically, I wasn't allowed to keep reptiles until I moved out, and then I moved out at 18, and then just went ham. Just got so many, and I've never not wanted to keep reptiles, but I had to sell all of my reptiles when I got divorced. So I was 24 when I got divorced. I had to sell everything. And then when I got back into keeping reptiles in 2020, I've always loved monitors, and I never really kept monitors because the monitor community gatekeep. So like you can't keep monitors. Yeah. So I started to breed scorpions, and I was breeding like giant flat rock scorpions, and I was breeding emperor scorpions. I like all that. And then I was like, the monitors were like, pull, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then I got some tegus because I was like, oh, in good. And I was like,
yeah.
And then, anyway, long story short, don't buy animals because people tell you to. Buy the animals you want.
Yeah.
And here I am now with a room filled with monitors.
Yep. Also, I love Tegus. Shout out Tegus, but they're not as cool as monitors.
Nah,
not even close. Not even close. It does not compare.
I've had both, and don't get me wrong, Tegus are cool. Or Tegus, if you're in America, but Tegus are cool. Yeah, they're not the same.
They don't. I think it's very cool that they have some endothermic properties and that they have. That's awesome, but it's like they're almost too nice, if that makes sense. Like part of monitors is like, dude, I want that monitor spunk where they can they, like bob their head and they like dash, like not stressed, of course, but I want them to act like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
Tegu's, they, I open the enclosure, she'll come up to me, she'll like play with me. If I can feed it by hand, I don't want it. That's my philosophy. If I can safely feed it by hand, no,
Not a caveat to go and feed tegus by hand, by the way, everyone.
no, no,
Do not feed any reptiles with big mouths and teeth by
yeah,
hand unless you are a
no.
skilled and trained professional, which we are not.
Yeah, we're not professionals, by the way, guys. We're just people who love lizards, monitors on the internet.
No. Have you got another question?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you hit me with it.
This is my last one. You guys didn't show out for me, guys. I think of the story. I think I might have took it down early because I was like deleting a bunch of my stories. Because dude, I'll be flooding my story with like
Yeah.
announcements. So I like delete them.
Okay.
Kind of. We already went over it. What was the first reptile you ever owned? Basic question, but it's always a good one. You want
Yeah.
to go first?
I said I wasn't allowed to keep reptiles as a kid. I had one pet lizard as a kid, and that was it. That wasn't just like random lizards I'd catch outside and keep for the summer and let them go. So I had a Sudan plated lizard, just plated lizards or something like that. But basically, it's a Sudan plated lizard. I had those. I had one of those. His name was Sherman, and I was about 7. And I think Will's lost signal. Happens every single time him and I try to record. So I guess we'll never find out. So now I'm just here rambling by the camera to myself. Hope you guys are all having a good new year thus far. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying this, if you're really excited to see what we're going to bring. And you never know, Will might come back at some point and I'll keep rambling on. And he's gone, but that's fine because here at Paul's Monitors, we'll keep the channel going. Yeah, I will champion this by myself. Will probably edit all this out, but if he doesn't, then get good internet when you're planning on doing an internet series. But yeah, thank you everyone for like
Stupid Wi-Fi, man. I don't know. I
don't
don't
worry.
know.
I kept the fort going, so you've got like no editing to do because I'm a professional, so it's
I
fine.
heard you. Like I heard what you. I heard Sudan plated lizard,
It's
and
fine. That's
yeah.
fine. Literally, you'll see this when you watch this back. You'll go, okay, Paul's saved the team.
All
So
right, cool, cool, cool.
don't worry. So what was your first? What was
My
because yeah.
gosh, I don't even. I do remember. It was, I think, like, okay, and besides like going out and catching stuff outside, like toads and stuff, it was a green anole that I won at a. Okay, I didn't win it at a carnival. Okay, so there were green anoles at the carnival. I didn't win it. So over here, green anoles sell for like $4, right?
Yeah.
I wanted the green anole so bad, and I couldn't get the ping pong ball in the cup. So I'm like, Dad, can I have the no, please? He asked my mom. My mom was like, no, he's not getting it. And then my dad went behind and he paid the dude $25 for the little
But
green
no,
anole.
damn, man.
Yeah.
Shout out your
And
dad. Yeah, it's pretty cool story to be fair.
yeah.
I think I just asked and then got me one for Christmas.
Sudan plated lizard's a good one though. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
those things are coolest. Oh my gosh. They're
I mean,
so cool.
I've been offered a pair, and I was sort of tempted to buy them because they've like hardly ever been captive bred, and I was like, oh, nostalgia. But then I'm like, oh, monitored. It's like
They're such a good size too. I feel like they're like perfect size. Because
they're
they're the big
chill as
ones,
well.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're I don't know, they're 20 inches, 22
Yeah,
inches.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
perfect
yeah, yeah,
size,
yeah.
honestly.
Anyway, we're digressing as always. So I've got
Yep.
2 more questions. So this one,
Okay.
what's the best way for someone who loves reptiles to get involved with the reptile hobby?
Without a single doubt, the one thing you have to do is subscribe to this channel because we are going to give you guys all of our knowledge, everything we know. You're not gonna have to pay for anything. It's gonna be it's all love here, guys, and realness. But on some real stuff, best thing if you want to get into the reptile hobby, if you want to start keeping reptiles, make sure you do your research. And the main chunk of that research, what I've learned, especially with monitors over the years, you got to talk to people who keep your desired species because no one knows better than the people who actually keep it. All those care guides you see online, a lot of them are written by journalists who've never kept the animal, and they're just pulling stuff off Google. Or get your information from a successful keeper or breeder. Just start researching, watch videos, because you're caring for living animals. So just be in tune with everything, do your research, and then you get the animal that you want to get, not a beginner, just because it's a beginner. Get something you want to get that you can properly care for.
Yeah, I take that question in 2 ways. So I take that question in reptile hobby in the sense of buying your first reptile, and then I'd take it in the reptile hobby as in part of the community. If you're already in the reptile hobby but you're almost in the woodwork, I was 2 years ago. I didn't really post on social or try and make a social or anything like that. So obviously social media is a powerful platform. It's also a necessary evil. So Facebook is a cesspool of toxicity. Instagram's not too bad because Will's like, no, Paul, don't. I'm like, it's too late, Will.
Facebook. Oh,
It's too
Facebook.
late. Instagram's okay because you can have an echo chamber, so you can unfollow people or block people that you don't agree with what they're doing. As I found as I'm growing as a creator, I've touched wood, like I haven't really had much hate, but the reptile hobby, no matter what you do, someone somewhere is going to be unhappy with you.
Someone.
If you're going to want to become part of the community, be prepared for criticism and be prepared for narcissism. And then I 100% agree with you in like getting your first reptile. Get what you want. Don't get a beginner species just because the pet shop's telling you to. But then also don't go and buy a croc monitor if you're 16 years old and you've never had a reptile before. Yeah. It sounds so silly, and this is I'll let Will do all the plugging for the channel. But go and support creators, like all creators, like literally just like videos, because then it does help them push the hobby.
Yeah,
like
goes a long way.
Yeah, like help people that are trying to help the hobby. It doesn't have to be like a creator, but like if you've got a spare couple of pounds or bucks a month, donate to a charity like US Arc, or in the UK there's a couple of proposed lists now, but well, in Scotland, which is so, you know what I mean? If you're looking to try and help the reptile hobby, look further than your four walls of the house you live in and think of, just because you don't agree with what someone's doing, let's be polite and courteous about it. Let's not try and bash people. Let's not be aggressive. Let's have constructive criticism. I've sort of not sold the reptile hobby very well there, but also me and Will become great friends. I've made 2 amazing friends here in the UK that I never even knew because of the reptile hobby. I have 10-15 people that I talk to regularly on Instagram just about lizards. Get yourself a social presence, and don't be like, some people are like, oh, I've only got a bearded dragon. Like, cool, people love bearded dragons.
It's cool.
You know what I mean? If you've got if you're keeping any form of animal, dog, cat, fish, reptile,
people want to see it.
That's sick. You know what I mean? Like you have a living organism that depends on you, which I will touch onto this quickly, just because that is based on a living organism. But we will touch on this in the next podcast, purely because this is a very long topic. But here's another little tease for you. I'm not going to read it out completely because I'm a terrible reader, but basically,
the basis.
Juan Garcia, who is a proud owner of a McRae, you'll be very jealous. Will's muted the chat. Will has left the chat for the second time in his podcast.
Stop. this dude.
He's basically said, does keeping reptiles / creatures contain a spiritual element? Not to be too religious on it or anything, but when you take focus off yourself and put it on creation, is there a namaste moment? Does it bring you closer to a creator in any way? Not to be too explicit on Christianity, because of course there's other origin stories. But for example, Adam's job, the first job, was to basically be a zoologist and name and classify all animals, and essentially be their keepers and the cultivator of land. So we'll touch on that in another podcast, because that's an amazing question.
Yeah, it's a very good question.
And I think there's a lot to be unpacked. But the final question I have are the goals, which I feel like is a good place to end. Yeah. Goals by the end of this year, just for 2023. What are your life goals, your channel goals, and your reptile keeping goals?
Okay. I don't know if I want to give away the reptile keeping goals on here.
You don't have to. You spoil it. Keep
you know, following. I'm sure you already know what they are. But so life goals, probably I would like to. Oh, we'll start with channel goals. I would like this channel to gain some traction. Me and Paul's, or Paul and I's channel, for being proper. I would like it to gain some traction. You know what I mean? I feel like this is something that we're not really doing it like anyone else is doing. This is going to be a whole different experience for you guys in terms of reptile content. We're really going to be bringing it, guys. I'm super excited for that. We haven't really discussed a set subscriber goal since we are just beginning, but hopefully it will take off. Personally, I would love to hit 50K. I'm shooting big for 50K on my channel. I'm going to be working my butt off. Personal life goals, I don't know if it's not really related, but I would love to hit 300 on the bench press this year. I have not tested it yet, but I would love to do that. And then I would love to be able to start saving a lot more money to be able to progress to moving, getting my own place eventually down the line. Keeping goals, I'm going to keep monitoring my female. I'm not going to pair my Pilbarentis anytime soon. She's still too young, but I do want to keep monitoring her, making sure she is growing healthily, and then eventually get some eggs and then add a couple more species to the collection. couple more species. I have my eye on one that is undoubtedly coming next, and then one more very closely related that I've seen like more and more over the last couple weeks. I'm like, I have to get it. I have to do it.
I think I know what you mean. So I just made it easy there for Will to
Yeah.
edit it in because I'm cutting stuff out for you guys to have to stay subscribed and tuned in and watch to find out what they're going to be. Little spoilers.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, my goals for keeping. I wish to continue to push the husbandry of Varanus indicus mangrove monitors just in 2023. I'd like my channel to get to 1,000. I'm on like 980, so 20 subscribers.
Oh, you can shoot for more than that. Come on, you'll get more than that.
I would like my channel to hit 5K. I think 5K is cool. I'm not as ambitious as you.
Remember what I told you. You shoot for the moon, you might hit the stars, man.
Yeah, man. 5K. I'll take 5K. For socials, 5K on YouTube, and I'd like to hit 20K on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I'm bigger on Instagram than I am YouTube, so I'd like to hit 20K on Instagram. I'm a quarter of the way there. So personal goals: continue to work on my mental health, being a better boyfriend and a better dad, 24/7, just progressing myself as a human, and not stopping and listening to the hedonic treadmill and just staying true. That would be a personal goal. And yeah, I've got a couple of new species coming. Well, the species I am getting this month are Kimberly rocks, and I'm getting some Gilleneye as well. So
awesome.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully, all being well, I'm getting Kimberly rocks and Gilleneye. I've got a Maruki breeding project, Maruki prasinus breeding project, pure Marukis. So I have a male and my friend has 2 females. My male is leaving this month to go to my friend. Hopefully we'll be breeding and producing pure Maruki prasinus this year.
Awesome.
And I'm going to keep all the babies and raise them all up. I won't be able to keep them all, but I'm going to keep them all. I think that's about it, really. It's just off the top of my head. That's all the goals for me, really. Yeah.
Awesome. You made me sound shallow. Wanting to hit a 300-pound bench press.
No, I used to be banging to the gym, and then I didn't have enough time. So basically I had gym, YouTube, animals, girlfriend, being a dad. And one of them had to go. So I looked at my kid and I was like, can't really get rid of you. And then I looked at my animals and I was like, can't really get rid of them. And then I looked at the girlfriend and I was like, can't get rid of you. So then the only thing left was the gym. So the gym had to go.
That's understandable. I mean, it's, as we grow older, we have more responsibility.
Yeah.
That's why I ain't even worried about no girl right now. I made that decision. I'm like, man, I love these lizards too much. I gotta have the time for it.
There's not enough time in the day to do all that we do.
Yeah.
So
shout out Fee though, man. You found a good one. You got a good one in Paul.
Shout out Fee.
Shout out Fee.
I found a good one. Honestly, like if people follow me on Instagram or my YouTube, basically all the camera. The other day I'll post a video, or maybe even like post it on here so you can see. But the other day, I was stood like here with my Prasinus Kermit, my big sarong, and he's just getting brave enough to like jump onto me. And he's done it 3 times. So he's done it twice, and I was pretty confident. I was like, right, film it. So Fee sat where I'm sat, and Kermit's just there, and she's filming it, and he does this perfect, Prasinus when they like almost turn into a kite.
Yeah.
And and he launches himself like 2 foot. I'm getting goosebumps. He like launches himself 2 foot onto me. And then I just hear Fee go, I missed it. and I'm all like passive aggressive, like, did you really? And then I like shared it with some friends, and we're all laughing about it. But no, yeah, she honestly like she's great.
On all the live streams you hear, she's like reading out all the comments.
Yeah, no, she's a real one, mate, 100%. She's probably like she's just come back from work. You probably saw me wait. She's probably in there like, shut up, you simp. But
yeah, exactly, simp. Come on now.
But yeah, no, she's good, man. She's good.
I could do my best British impression, but every time I'm on the live stream, Will Exotic says,
I don't know how long we've been recording for, but I feel like this is a good first episode, everyone. I hope you've all enjoyed. Yeah. Hopefully that we can get some amazing guests on. And like I say, when I say amazing guests, I don't care about your followers. I don't care if you've got 1 follower or 20 million. Yes. You're a person. You're amazing. Everyone's a unique individual. Yeah, you're amazing. Reach out to myself or Will. Will will put our socials in there and just reach out and be like, I'd love to come on and talk about lizards, snakes,
absolutely,
birds,
absolutely,
tigers. So that's the plan. That's the roadmap. We'll probably have another video addressing it a little bit better. This was just get to know us. So yeah, thank you all for
Yeah,
like watching, tuning, listening, and liking and subscribing. I'll let it.
sir.
I'll hand it off, Mr. Will Exotic, to wrap it up.
Yeah, man. This has just been this. It gives you guys kind of a taste of how we function. We like to laugh a lot. We like to give good information. We like to share stories, man. It's building a good community. Like we said in the beginning, we're kind of bringing a new style of content, something that not a lot of people like. This video is not indicative of what we're doing. We're gonna have like we've explained it a little bit in the beginning because like we're gonna do those clips right of explaining it, so you guys kind of get a basic layout. But this is gonna be fun, guys. This is the start of a really fun journey. I literally could not be more excited. Like I get giddy thinking about it. But if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. Go down and hit that bell notification so you guys stay updated. All of our socials, Paul and I's socials, will be down below to our private channels, our private Instagrams, things of that sort. Go ahead and share this around if you think other people would be interested in it. And as Paul said, guys, if you would like to share some information, maybe some things that you guys have learned, we don't care about followers, guys. We just care about this is gonna be fun, guys. So we do appreciate you guys for taking some time out of your day listening to these two hooligans rant out about monitors and other reptiles as well. We're gonna get some nice diversity, but
And this is another clip, everyone. This isn't going to be cut out, but this is going to be at the start, like a little teaser clip. And if you've made it this far, comment that you made it to the real bit. This is the teaser clip. What's that? A live interactive podcast with your two favorite YouTubers. Right.
perfect. That's a good way to end it.
Right. Stop.